Well, boys and girls, it's time for the Freelance Report. Gianna, Volpe. Brought to you by Maximus Health, 130 East Main Street, Riverhead, and Michelangelo's of Mattituck at the Mattituck Shopping Plaza on Route 25 in Mattituck. So there was a little bit of just a few snowflakes last week, some flurries, and you couldn't get here.
Yeah, it was. I'm such a baby.
You really are.
I was out in East Marion.
I got here.
The snow. I called in at 7:30. You were speaking to Her Highness and the Throne Host of Southampton.
That's right. Excuse me. The beloved.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And you guys were talking about how dangerous it was.
Yes.
How the high of the day had already come and gone. And the snow was falling faster and faster. I was still planning on coming in, but my boyfriend said, maybe you should call and see what's going on with that, because it was pretty rough. I tried and failed to make a snowman that day.
Really?
Yeah.
She had said that she was making snow angels in the afternoon. But,
I went out there. I walked.
I'd pay money to see that, actually.
I went out. I wasn't wearing gloves, so I went out into the snow, and I was about to stick my fingers in it, and I was like, you know what? I'm a little too old and wise to do this right now, because I know that it's going to be fun for 2 seconds. Then my fingers are going to freeze. And then when I go inside, it's going to be even worse. They're going to feel like they're on fire.
I've never seen such what's what we're looking for here? Such angst over building a snowman.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It was a cold winter. You know, we had record snowfall last winter, and then we had I don't know if it was less or about the same, but less.
Incredible cold.
Less, but incredibly cold and over a longer period.
Oh, yeah. The funny part about the snow this year, before we bring our guest on, because she's sitting there looking back and forth at us like I feel she's like a ping pong ball almost, but is that, where was I? Oh, the snow didn't start until after New Year's. So
but then we got it all at once.
In December, and it came all at once.
I know. I was so excited, because I remember like a couple of weeks before the snow, and I was like, oh, they were predicting this was going to be the worst winter, and we haven't gotten the snow, and then it was just like all at once.
Only Gianna could get excited about snow.
About not snow. That's good.
Not I like. In fact, it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we just had a little bit of decorative, maybe like 6 inches for the whole winter, just decorative snow.
Right.
Like it was on the lawn, it was on the trees, but it wasn't on the streets. I liked that. I work at Noah's in Greenport, and I loved watching the snow falling, because we're right across from the old post office. Yeah.
It's like being in a Dickensian snow globe.
Although, to tell you the truth, there's nothing that's more picturesque. Like at 5:30 in the morning when the snow is falling and the plows haven't even done a job yet, than being on Main Street, Riverhead.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this downtown is it's just picturesque. And if you go out and you look in the front windows of this building, you can see all the way down to the circle. It's like Currier and Ives.
Right.
It really is.
It is gorgeous.
Anyway, let's bring on our guest.
Speaking of on fire, we've got 2 Long Island redheaded ladies in business this morning, starting off with Lauri Spitz of Moustache Brewery here in the heart of Polishtown in Riverhead. Good morning.
Guys.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Moustache Brewery coming on its year anniversary.
Yeah, I can't believe it already. It's been almost a year. It'll be a year, technically April 19th, but we're going to be partying it up for the first birthday on April 18th, because that's the Saturday.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And you've got, I know I'm a member of the Growler of the Month Club.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Our newest members.
Yes.
Yeah, so we started right before we opened. We actually had some surprise large expenses, so we started a Growler of the Month Club to help out with that. And basically it was you prepay $150 for the year. You get a cool laminated official membership card.
That's right.
And then you get 1 growler fill every single month of whatever you want. You get discounts on all your growlers after that, purchases. And it's cool.
Yeah.
We were going to limit it and just do it in a short run. but people loved it so much. We've just been
You're still doing it?
Yeah, we're just doing it. You can come in anytime and sign up, and then you're good for like the year from when it starts.
Do you know what number you're at? I know I was 44.
I don't know exactly. 60 something, maybe. Could be wrong.
The whole craft beer thing has really taken off. That's become like the growth industry in Riverhead town, and even on the North Fork.
Yeah.
So what got you interested in doing that? Because I imagine brewing beer is not the easiest thing in the world to do.
No. You know, it's a lot of science and art. It's kind of like similarly like to baking. Actually, you can't kind of really wing it. But me and my husband started, Matt, who's the other half of the company, really the mustache half. Mine doesn't grow in very thick. That would be weird. Yeah, we started homebrewing in 2005. So we had a friend who was working at Blue Point at the time, and he was like, yeah, you guys could totally make your own beer. And, you know, we were like, that's awesome. You know, we're always into doing things ourselves and cooking and baking. And, so we were at the bar one night, and he wrote down a recipe for an Oktoberfest that we came up with on a bar napkin. We went out the next day, got all this stuff. Because at the time we were, you know, we grew up in East Islip, so we were living there, and there's a homebrew shop in Islip that's been there forever. And the next weekend we brewed our first batch of this Oktoberfest and on my in-laws' stove.
Like a store where you go to buy homebrew equipment?
It's called Arbor Homebrew in Islip, and they have like winemaking supplies too. I think at the time that was like really what their big thing was the winemaking, but they had like a little corner of homebrew stuff. Now it's like a huge homebrew store. But yeah, so we made this beer and like on my in-laws' stove, you know, and we were like, oh God, I hope this comes out good, you know? So we bottled it up, and then like, a couple weeks later, we had all our friends over, and we tried it, and nobody died. Nobody went blind. It was all gone in one night. It was only like a little 5-gallon homebrew batch, which is like 40 bottles. And we were like, this is cool. We should open a brewery. Like, this is 2005. We had no idea. Like, this wasn't a thing. It wasn't like a real idea at that point. And then, like, we just kept homebrewing, and the beer was good. And then we did a whole bunch of, like, beer shows, and people would be like, where can we buy this? And we're like, nowhere. You gotta, like, make your own beer, you know?
You make it.
Yeah, make it yourself.
It's really cute, because so that means that the first year anniversary of your first brewery is going to actually also be the 10th anniversary of brewing beer.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
We were just saying that, actually, the other day. That's been 10 years. I think we brewed that in, like, September.
And I remember talking to you guys when you first moved into the space.
Yeah.
And it was just it's on Hallett Street, that dead end.
Yeah, it's the old Sid Harvey building. Usually most people know it as that. But yeah, we're kind of like right next to Polishtown, the park pavilion over there.
Polonaise Park.
And then there was nothing in there, and I remember when they were just planning out, like, this is where the tanks are going to go, this is where we're going to have, you know, the actual taps and whatnot, this is going to be cold storage. And then I remember talking to you again right before you opened, and you guys had just been, like, through the ringer, sleeping there.
Yeah, like, we were still living in East Islip, like, pretty much, like, I think we moved actually out here a year ago. It was like this week or something.
Wow. And Lauri lives at...
We love living downtown. You know, like, it's funny because we lived in East Islip our whole lives. Matt and I actually, we met in high school. We went to high school together. I'm just completely detracting that you just...
There's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Let's get to the big important question.
Lauri...
Number one, are you distributed in the various restaurants around here?
So, all right. So this has been the big issue. We started so small, and we had no idea what to expect. So we are going through so much beer in the taste room that we don't have a ton to sell. So right now, we are actually going to be on at Diggers and Dark Horse. I just dropped kegs off yesterday. So as soon as they go on, I know Dark Horse has Porter on at the moment. You know, we try to get out what we can. Mostly we try to just keep it in town at this point, because when people come in the tasting room, they want to know what's around for, where they can go to eat and drink our beer at the same time. So we're trying to like keep it there. We're actually going to be dropping off some beer later today to Lovely in Kitchen in Mattituck.
Very cool.
Which is my favorite.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we were going to have Paula from the Giving Room because it's their 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
They've got their juices at Lovely in
The
Kitchen.
juices are so good. Have you had all of them? Yeah.
Not all of them.
Okay. Yeah. Every time I go, I'm like, I want to drink all of the juices.
Which is also a very big thing right now.
Yeah.
But you guys just got new equipment, like bigger equipment.
Yeah,
so you can do more.
About 3 weeks ago, we drove up to Portland, Maine, like crazy people, because it was going to be significantly cheaper to go pick up our tanks than to have them delivered. Freight is disgustingly expensive, as we've learned. Yeah, and then we unloaded them all ourselves without forklifts, equipment, just like crazy brute strength.
Yeah.
Like, we have videos of it on our Facebook page.
God.
You have to watch them. And so actually, Matt's not here today because he's at the brewery with my father-in-law trying to finish plumbing the tanks up. But hopefully they'll be done.
Well, Lauri, it was an absolute pleasure having you this morning. I will never stop being sorry for I learned something. Yes. I think we all learned something this morning.
You know what?
You know what?
Well, Gianna, what did you learn today? I learned that you don't give out the subject's address on the radio. Can't believe you did that.
Gianna, I have a present for you. I want to mail
so
it to
I
you.
live. I live on Village Lane in Mattituck. Because it's only fair.
There's a lot of Village Lane.
It's only fair. Now everyone knows.
So don't come visit me, Gianna.
Come visit me.
Pardon me.
All right, thank you so much for coming on this morning. After the break, we're going to have Michelle Panciarello of the Eat Me, Drink Me food truck. You can find her everywhere on the East End.
Now, her address you can give out. Back on the Freelance Report, brought to you by Maximus Health and Fitness, 130 East Main Street, Riverhead, and Michelangelo's at Mattituck on the main road to Mattituck in the Mattituck Plaza Shopping Center.
Yep, now we've got our next guest. We can say her address since it is wherever her wheels may find her. Michelle Panciarello of Eat Me, Drink Me food truck. And a quick shout out to another redheaded lady in business, Long Island lady, Nancy Corris. They were named best bread makers in the country, or her husband Keith, Blue Duck Bakery.
Dessert Professional Magazine is a trade publication, so apparently that carries a lot with it.
Right. And similarly, our guest, Michelle Panciarello of Eat Me, Drink Me food truck, was named one of the top 5 burgers in the country.
Yeah.
Right, but that was Mobile Cuisine?
Yeah, mobilecuisine.com, yeah.
That was that, and what an accolade, especially for someone that's, this is you're going into your second year, right?
Yeah, this is my, it's really hard to pin that one down. I'm like, when exactly did I start? I'm not, I'm actually not too sure. I think this is my second year. This is my third summer.
It's like the
Well, let me ask you this. Have you been on diners, drive-ins, and dives yet?
No, it's actually kind of funny. I'm terrified of cameras.
Really?
I took some great photos of you.
Really? But you gotta get into that. If you're gonna do, Triple D, you gotta, and Guy Fieri.
You're telling me that. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Yeah, it's awful.
And Guy Fieri running around and like Mr. Food Enthusiast. No, the guy he's incredibly enthusiastic about what he does.
Yeah, he is super enthusiastic. I'm just not into it. Even when Gianna had come down when I first met her, she was trying to take pictures of me for an article, and I was doing everything I possibly could to, hide in a fridge, scale a wall, everything I could do to get away. And
I know, and I'm just like, okay, now put your hand on your chin.
and I'm just beating her, and I'm like, please, no. Picture of anybody else, say it's me.
So if anyone who's interested and wants to try Michelle's stuff, you will be at Mustache's first birthday on the 18th.
Yes.
Here in Polishtown. You got to take your truck off the road this winter, right?
Yes, thank goodness.
So that's why I know that this is beginning your second year, because last year you had to stay on the road.
Yeah, we worked all winter. Yeah.
Because you didn't get your permits until the end of the summer. The first event that you did was the food truck derby for Edible East End, right?
Yeah, we did the derby last year, and then we did the derby the year before that.
Right, but that was your first event, the year before.
Right. And then this year is my third derby.
That's awesome.
Yes, this will be my third derby, August 14th.
And I remember that first event, you guys had like a line.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that was a sea of people. It was like baptism by fire. Open the window and the line's 100 deep, and you're sweating and shaking, and yeah, it was fun.
And you're organic, so you've got like
mostly organic. We're not completely organic, but
okay.
We are organic when possible. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember when you first started, you were all organic. Now, what do you have that is not?
Our potatoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we actually we wound up getting priced out of being organic. The organic farmers just had priced us completely out of the market of being able to provide organic potatoes. So now we will go organic potatoes for catering by request, and then we have to do a substantial upcharge.
Right.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Someone wants to, because Southampton is doing a whole thing with a code for allowing food trucks in the town, and although I think what their code requires is that it has to be affiliated with a brick and mortar restaurant.
Oh, interesting.
That's what they're talking about doing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
So what towns would I be able to find you in?
Oh boy, yeah, that would be tough. See, if you have to be affiliated with a brick and mortar. I'm not affiliated with a brick and mortar.
No, I know that, and so I'm saying to you,
mostly on the North
you're
Fork.
kind of like Norfolk, Southold, Riverhead towns, or
it depends. Right now, I mean, I don't operate on any streets, so we're like Southold. What you're saying, Southampton, rather. Where they're saying you have to be affiliated with a restaurant. That's for people who operate on streets or like private property lots out there. For me, I just wouldn't operate in that town. So, the town, I would say, well, they don't want me. I don't need to be there.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is where would I be able to find you?
Then I would operate within, like, Greenport. I like Greenport a lot, so I would operate in Greenport, Southold. I really like Southold.
So, yeah, so where can we find you this spring? Do you have any events lined up?
Yeah, if you check our calendar at eatmedrinkmetruck.com, actually I put up, I guess I probably posted, 30, 35 different events. I'm still adding.
Any that you want to mention on the air?
Yeah, my first big event coming up is Suffolk County Farm and Education Center. That's it's in Yaphank. It's actually right behind the Board of Health. That's May 2nd. And that's
is that Baby Animal Day?
Yeah, it's Baby Animal Day. It's so much fun.
Oh my God! So how was last year? I remember I wanted to go.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Baby animals, I love them. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. And so that's May the 2nd. That's gonna be a blast. And then my first day on the road is actually going to be March 25th, and I'm going to be at Mustache Brewery for their girls' pint night out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's open to anybody, so anybody can come on down.
So I'll be there.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Awesome.
And then I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then March 28th is the kickoff of the Strong Island Derby Revolution roller derby season. So, yes, so their first bout is going to be at World Gym in East Setauket. So I will be there. I'm their truck. They took me again for the season. So I'll be providing me food for the Strong Island Derby Revolution girls.
Very cool.
And I'll be at all their bouts.
Very nice. Gotta love roller derby. And speaking of baby animals, I went to Browder's Birds in Mattituck yesterday. It was the first week birthday of one of their two first Cotswold sheep lambs for the year of the lamb or the ram or the goat. And then I talked with Hal Goodale from Goodale Farms, and he said that, about a week ago, all of his goats started kidding, and he's expecting like 200 goats.
Oh,
and
goodness.
He said that people have been calling and wanting goat kids as pets.
Really?
It's like a thing.
You're kidding me.
No, you're kidding me. I see what you did there.
Baby goats.
I see what you did. Bruce is like, he has no idea what to do with this information.
I mean, they're super cute, but I don't know. I
have to tell you, Michelle, this is one of those things I could have lived without knowing.
What? That people... there's a goat trend? You're kidding me.
I'm trying. It's the first one I could come up with.
Stop. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
It's really early in the morning for me.
Well, it kind of is, and
I'm not really functioning.
I know. Well,
well, functioning is relative. I mean, around here, we're actually for us, we're doing pretty well.
Oh, I wanted to say...
You guys sound very awake. I'm into this.
Oh, yeah, it's the coffee. Hey,
Right.
Michelle, tell the story of why you decided to go with the Alice in Wonderland theme.
Oh, the Alice in Wonderland theme. You know, it's just been a recurring theme throughout my life, just since I was a kid. It's always been a favorite. And just over and over and over, I've always gone back to it. So I just, it's just one of those things that, I just couldn't, shake free of it. So
Right.
when it came time to planning the truck and planning the business, and it just seemed like a comfortable fit, and I just went right with it.
Do you still have the cupcake wrap, or are you back to the regular Alice in Wonderland theme wrap?
We're just Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, the cupcake wrap, the cupcake vineyards wrap, it's basically what happens is some of the trucks, during the slow season, they will rent out the truck to different marketing campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I had done to get me through the first winter there, was to rent out my truck to Cupcake Vineyards.
Right.
So I think it was like 3 days of activation. I had my truck wrapped in somebody else's wrap. And then you drive around basically as Cupcake Vineyards for 3 days. And then they pay you, which is lovely. And then you take their wrap off and you go back to being you.
Right.
Which is wonderful. I was actually really hoping that would happen again this year, but it did not.
Well,
You do what you can. I'll try and do it next year.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm not going anywhere.
So let's get to the brass tacks of this.
Okay.
I go up to your truck. I want to get something to eat.
Okay.
What are the options?
What are the options?
Yeah.
So,
Like what's on the menu?
yeah, at any given day, the options could change depending on my mood.
Uh-oh.
and what happens to look good to me when I go shopping. So I shop every day.
Right.
So, things can change on a whim. But, there's always going to be a variety of grass-fed burgers. There's always going to be a variety of hand-cut fries, and there's always going to be grilled cheese.
Yes, she's got some great grilled cheese. I remember you were talking about how Jess would tell you, kind of keep you in line because you weren't...
Oh, yeah, because I fly off the handle. Things get a little crazy. So somebody has to ground me or else, Lord knows what's going to be on that truck.
Blueberry grilled cheese.
The blueberry cheese.
Blueberry grilled cheese? I've never heard of that before.
That's because
because apparently it's not a good idea.
Because I think to myself, it's like there are things that go together, right? Tomato soup, grilled cheese, and real Ritz crackers. Because the fake ones don't work.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
and the unsalted crackers are even worse.
I remember there were a couple of sort of odd grilled cheeses though that were awesome. What are some of the ones that seemed strange but actually worked really well?
Oh, I have one that's a homemade marshmallow that I do, but it's spiced with cardamom. So which is a different spice. You don't people use a whole lot of cardamom in their cooking. So it's a spiced marshmallow, and then we use Nutella and peanut butter, and then we put it on brioche, and then we grill it. And then we top it with cinnamon sugar. And the combination of the cardamom marshmallows with Nutella and the peanut butter, it all works together really well.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and then we have a triple cream brie, and then we use Italian fig paste.
Very nice.
The two of that together on the brioche is really stellar. We do a cookie butter, so it's speculoos. And then we have that with this cheese. It's called Entorki, which is a savory cheese.
Ooh, I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, it's super good. But when you mix it with the cookie butter, it actually, they balance each other off so well, it makes a perfect grilled cheese.
Well, Michelle...
I come up with these grilled cheeses, and they're all, really excellent. But every now and again, I apparently make one that Jessica would
It's a little weird. Well, Michelle, the website is eatmedrinkmetruck.com if you want to know where you can find her. And thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on. All right. We'll be back from the break and wrap things up.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Maximus Health and Fitness of Riverhead is 25,000 square feet of everything you need to create a new you. Maximus Health and Fitness, 130 East Main Street, has state-of-the-art exercise equipment, free weights, professional personal trainers, and private workout areas. They're next to the Suffolk Theater in the heart of historic downtown Riverhead. Use their child facilities, tanning stations, a hair salon, and smoothie bar with your membership at Maximus. Your membership also includes a full calendar of fitness classes like cross-training, weight training, training, boot camp, Zumba, spin, yoga, Pilates, and a lot more. Start a new, healthier lifestyle that you can stick with all year long. Join Maximus Health and Fitness, 130 East Main Street in Riverhead. Call 369-6293. 369-6293. Check their website at maximusriverhead.com or come on in to Maximus Fitness today. Maximus Health and Fitness, being healthy and getting in shape has never been easy.
Take a trip to Italy without ever leaving the North Fork at Michelangelo's in Mattituck. Of course, you'll start with a nice antipasto, and then it's on to your main course. Perhaps you'll want pasta, maybe some chicken, or as they say in Italian, polo. Veal, which is fritello in Italian, or some frutta di mare, which is seafood in Italian. No matter what you decide on, one thing is for sure, you and your family are going to love it. Of course, Michelangelo's has pizzas, including the very popular Grandma's and other specialty pies, as well as your favorite Italian heroes. Just call them at 298-4100. 298-4100, and they'll be ready when you get to Michelangelo's at the Mattituck Plaza Shopping Center on Route 25 in Mattituck. So take that trip to Italy. You deserve it. Come on in to Michelangelo's on Route 25 in the Mattituck Plaza Shopping Center in Mattituck. Well, that's it.
Rookie mistake.